Watcha dudes! Oh, I don't know why I start these videos like that. I should just say hello. This is the Seiko SKX031 Submariner. It uses the 7S26-0040 movement, which is a self-winding mechanical movement. It doesn't have any hacking, which means that when you pull out the crown, the second hand keeps going. And it doesn't have hand wound either. But it's a very reliable, time-tested, not time-tested, what's the phrase? It's a very reliable movement. It ticks 6 times a second, which gives the second hand the illusion of sweeping, which is very appealing. Let me tell you a little bit about this watch. We'll start with the dimensions, shall we? It measures 39 millimeters across, excluding the crown. The lug width is 22 millimeters. It is just under 12, it might say 11 millimeters thick. Oh, and the lug to lug is 46 millimeters, I would say. So it's a modest sized watch. It's not huge. Let me put it on my wrist and you can see. I've got 7.5 inch wrists, so quite large, but you know, it looks good. Looks good on my wrist. It's a nice size. Let's have a look at what else we've got. We've got a bezel. Now, dive watches always have bezels, and they click. This one, let's listen. I'll just be quiet and you listen. It's not a click, and but you can feel it, but it's not a click. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the unusual thing about this one is it's bi-directional, so it turns in both directions, not the traditional unidirectional bezel that you get on, for example, the SKX007. This is the Japanese model, by the way. You can tell that because it's got the 21 joules written underneath the depth rating, and that denotes that it's was made for the Japanese market. You can also tell because the date is kanji there as well, which is kind of cool. Screw down crown, nice and smooth. Fantastic loom, which I can't demo because I'm in the kitchen and the windows letting in lots of sunshine. Just take my word for it. Superb loom. So you know that Seiko is famous for its loom. Let's have a look at the sides of it. Lovely polished shaped sides. The back is highly polished. This is a little bit vintage, so has some scuffs and marks. Let's just have a look. We've got the Seiko Wave logo, a little bit of details, the serial number, water resistant to 10 bar, so that's 100 meters, and I can't make it out. Yeah, lovely. The bezel is nice and grippy, good coin edge bezel there, no problems at all. And the strap is the Z22, the Seiko. You can see the little Seiko logo on the end. It says Seiko on the buckle. That's very comfortable, very flexible, very supple. It's kind of traditional diver's band. This keeps good time, probably plus or minus 10 seconds a day. Depends on the exact one you've got, but it's pretty good. And fully wound, not manually, as I've mentioned before, but by the movement of your wrist. It could sit on your table for 43 hours and would still be ticking away. Let me just check and see if there's any more information I should tell you. I'm just looking at my stat sheet here. The beats per hour, for example, are 21,600 beats per hour. That makes it 6 beats per second, as I mentioned before. The glass, the crystal, is Hardlex, is Seiko's Hardlex, so it does scratch. It's not as scratch resistant as Sapphire, but it's nice and cheap. I've replaced these myself for just a few pounds, not very expensive at all, and it's quite straightforward to do. And if you're not confident, take it to a watchmaker and they'll do it for you. It's not a big job. What else can I tell you? I think that's it really. That's everything that you need to know. This is a lovely little watch, quite difficult to get hold of these days. The SKX007 and the Pepsi version 009 are ubiquitous. Those are the ones that pretty much every watch collector has in their collection. This is a slightly smaller, more modest sized version, and personally I prefer it. I like the fact that the crown is at the 3 o'clock as opposed to the 4 o'clock. I think that's slightly more comfortable and less unusual. The date and day window is beautifully framed with silver there to match the indices, the applied indices and the hands. And overall it's just got lovely dimensions, and it's a nice modest watch that works really well. I should like to ask you to subscribe if you wouldn't mind. This is just one of many fascinating videos that you might like to see. So if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. And I wish you all the best, and I'll see you soon.